Welcome to the last great Coliseum. It's the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. And we are here. It's AWSCO. It's the Snapdragon Continental Series. It's the Gainbridge 300. 300 laps, about 160 miles around this short track. And, well, we're just going to have to see how it goes with all of these drivers. But forget about that. First, we got to start with the pre-race studio. Hi, I'm Eddie Debs, joined alongside Rasha Mahendra again for another pre-race studio, except this time it's different because I'll be in the call. But that's not that big of a deal compared to what we have in store for you today because, again, it's Bristol, where pure insanity is going to happen, as I think everyone expects, having seen this race a bunch of times. Rasha, can you attempt to, yes, control the chaos and telling the viewers what we might be seeing in terms of pure pandemonium here today?
I mean, Bristol is typically a pretty chaotic affair in any kind of stock car racing series, and I would expect very much the same here. Well, I should say that it's either chaos or absolutely nothing happens, which seems like the standard fare for Bristol in any given series. To be fair, it's typically a track where you basically have to muscle cars out of the way, and more often than not, drivers are going to be over aggressive making those moves, and I wouldn't. And it's going to be a physical affair today. Cars are going to be using those bumpers quite a bit, just given the nature of this track and how difficult it is to pass over here. It'll be even in recent years it's gotten a little bit easier to pass. Cars are still using their bumpers and using their cars a little bit just to muscle drivers out of the way, and I wouldn't expect to see anything different here at Bristol today. With the relative inexperience of the field here in the Continental Series as well, I'm rather intrigued to see how many incidents we get here. We might see a pretty messy race here, especially early on, but we just have to see.
Absolutely. I guess you should start by going to the fact that this is about the third track under a mile that the AWSCO Snapdragon Continental Series is going to. However, not the shortest. We went to Irwindale a couple of weeks back. As if I remember correctly, Eliza Evergreen got the win in that race, albeit after it was dominated almost entirely by Latanya Gray. I guess the big question coming out of that is, well, these drivers have experience with a track this small, but do they have the experience to take on what is Bristol? What's your take on that, Rasha?
Can you just repeat what you said there?
Do you think this race is going to be anything like Irwindale, or do you think
It
that
would have to
the
depend, I
experience?
think. Given that at Irwindale we applied a additional traction compound that made the race a lot more multi-groove than you typically see in an Irwindale race, I think that definitely played a hand in how the drivers approach the racing in that event. I'm not sure we have that same thing here at Bristol, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if the incidents that we saw at Irwindale aren't all that far off from the ones we see here at Bristol today.
It'd be really interesting to see if the drivers like Eliza Evergreen or Latanya Gray end up at the front here. But I guess first we should go to the points so far this season. Jet Brackett, of course, winning the last race, moving up to the top 5. Um, Big stretches for a couple of these drivers. Eliza Evergreen, of course, we talked about her. 10 points ahead of Kara Reynolds for first place so far. Freya von Lundquist, Deborah Williams, and of course Jet Brackett making up the top 5. Looking towards sort of that middle, I guess, area near the cutoff line, it is really interesting because by my count, there are about 11 drivers who are within about 25 points of the cut line right now. These include drivers like Reina Munoz, who's had some pretty good runs. Elia Azelhart, who's had 4 top 10s. Shizzy Min, who's had 2 top 5s so far this season, but has had nothing else outside of that. She's 19 out. I guess the real question is, does a top 10 or even a top 5 here, do you think it's worth fighting for, knowing that likely most of this race is going to be caused by it's going to end up with a lot of chaos and probably a lot of messed up bumpers or DNFing cars by the end of the whole thing?
I mean, easily, I think this is probably going to be this is probably going to be a bit of a race of attrition. So, I'm not sure if you'd be all that I'm not sure if you should be that aggressive to gain positions, but at the same time, I think Bristol is one of those tracks where if you're not moving forward, you're probably going to be moving backwards all day. So, it's definitely something teams have to pay attention to when it comes to retaining position. It's going to be pretty important to at least be aware and defensive with your driving here, especially if you're one of those drivers starting further up front and kind of in that kind of points bubble position. So I think we talk a lot about a driver like Ashley Johnson, who's kind of spent the season, I think, in that bubble. And this is a track where I think you can either gain a lot of ground just by finishing a race and driving relatively cleanly, or you can lose a lot of points by making silly mistakes and falling behind the pecking order and even retiring from the race early because of an incident. So I think paying attention to what I expect to be a high rate of attrition is going to be an important part of this race. And it's always going to be about a balance of aggression here. You want to be aggressive and you want to be prudent in gaining positions, but you don't want to be too aggressive and be the ones making silly mistakes, because that's the worst place you can be in.
Absolutely. We will likely see that the winner comes out the driver who drives the closest perfect race. But speaking of, we could probably go to the starting grid. Kate Summers, one of the Uberman Enterprise teammates, Ashley Johnson, is starting on pole. Kate Summers has not started higher than 8th. Has not finished higher than 8th so far this season, averaging 25.4 in terms of finishing position. But to her outside is Takamoto Aya, who, coming at 26, she's 29 points from the cut line, currently about 20 ahead of Kate Summers. She has 2 top 10s, but more DNQs. And for Inverness Racing, a team who has, I guess, had I'd say a lot more success than Uberman Enterprises is so far. But I guess the question I have for you, Rasha, is which driver needs their best finish more? What driver what driver between Aya and Summers really need to put their foot down and assert that they can make the playoff by driving well at a short track?
I mean, I think it's easily going to be Summers. I think Summers is the kind of driver who kind of thrives in these situations. In these shorter tracks, I'd say. But at the same time, she's had a bit of a struggle of a season so far, and it would do her a world of good to at least get a clean race in, and deliver a race where we can minimize the amount of incidents and mistakes, and just run her own race and focus on getting as many points as possible. I think that's gonna be the case for a lot of these cars. For a lot of these cars starting in the top 10, a lot of these guys are, you just want to be gathering points. I think, especially with, I'd say that's probably true with both Ponos Racing cars. You got one of them sitting in that bubble, one of them sitting way behind in points. You got Davenport, who's run well, but at the same time just needs to run well whenever she's qualified. But given that she's also in a bit of a points hole, that's another driver that needs to be doing well. Sundale here is in a bit of a unique situation. She already has that win, so she's not necessarily too concerned about her performances. But at the same time, Sundale's been a little bit inconsistent this season as well. So I think this will be a fun race to see what kind of speed that the 40 has over over the course of the rest of the season. And I also wouldn't put out that those two Project Horizon cars. You can see them on the you'll see them on the inside of, I believe that's rows 5 and 6. Morales starting in 9th and Rockwood in 11th. Those are two drivers that I think Project Horizon as a whole is a team that's become a lot more intriguing in the last few weeks. We saw them struggle at the very beginning of the season with struggling to qualify for races, but as of late they've been picking up the results of it. I mean, Morales has qualified for 2 races, and both of those she's finished top 5. Rockwood is a 7th, also had a 7th place in that last race, making it a double top 10 for Project Horizon. So that's a team that I would think are gathering momentum a bit, and we'll see what we'll see what those two are going to be able to do at this kind of track, I think.
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see, because we do have a lot of drivers needing some points and probably needing a win at this point to kind of put themselves in the playoff race at the front. Meanwhile, at the back, we see a lot of the bigger names having to get in via basically getting in on points.
On the provisionals,
this includes Kara Reynolds, currently the highest ranked non-winner, sitting all the way in the outside of row 17. Comparatively to her, if we can compare her to some of the other drivers up there in the points without a win, that'd be Deborah Williams and Vinnie Schultz. Deborah Williams is in row 4, and Vinnie Schultz is in row 9, but they are all, Schultz, Williams, and Reynolds, on the outside. Do you think this puts some pressure on Kara Reynolds? She's finished 33rd beforehand before it lost Vegas. Do you think that puts pressure on her to try and start cutting through the field the chances at the first chance she gets? Because realistically,
I'd consider that to be a little bit of pressure, just because you would expect if you're starting out back, it's more likely that you're going to be collected in one of those early incidents. So, the further up front you are, I think there's, at least early on, the less chance there is of being involved in an incident. But that'll obviously change once we start getting long runs and lap traffic becomes a factor. Then there really isn't anywhere to hide in the field. So yeah, I think it's prudent. I think it's a good idea to start making moves early. Just make sure you're not the incident. But if you can if you can make up positions early on, that's going to be probably the easiest time for you to gain positions, I think, given how hard it can be to pass at this track.
Don't be the incident. I think that's what all these drivers are thinking, all 38 of them, as they get into their cars. Well, we're about to send it up to the booth where I will be joining Echo, but first we should go through picks. Russia. We still got 300 laps ahead of us, but who do you think?
I've already mentioned the Project Horizon drivers. Those are going to be the 2 drivers that are on my radar today. They've been, in terms of momentum, they've probably been one of the best teams in the last few races, I should say. But at the same time, I think inconsistency has been a problem for them. We'll see what the Project Horizon cars are made of in this race. But they're definitely in a good starting spot, starting near the front of the field on the inside line, and I think we should. I wouldn't be surprised to see a good result for either one of those 2 for Project Horizon cars in this race.
Well, if I had to make a choice right now, I'd say Robin Morales of Project Horizon. I'd say she has the best shot. I mean, she's ahead in terms of being in front of Lexi Rockwood, and also we got to consider she finished second, only a second back to Eliza Evergreen at Irwindale. She can drive on short tracks. She led 22 laps. And you got to believe at this point, with 4 DNQs, but also 2 top 5, this is a driver who just needs to win in order to either put themselves in the playoffs and also prove to everyone that they're dangerous on short tracks. You got to beat them elsewhere, and that they're just a strong driver, someone who can maybe be a threat come playoff. But that's it from the pre-race studio. I'm gonna try and get my way up to the booth. We'll see how that goes. Thank you to Rasha. Hope you have fun on pit road, and we will see you guys in a couple. Transmitting now. Hey, Echo.
Hello. Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway, this half-mile high-banked oval in the hills of Tennessee. I'm Echo. I'm going to be joined in a moment here by Eddie, who's rushing up from the studio into the booth here. Half-mile short track. We saw a similar race to this one at Irwindale, and we saw Eliza Evergreen take that one. But this one is quite different. It's, this race is going to be a lot more about attrition. We saw in practice they were getting rough with each other. Now with a bunch more cars at the front of the field here, just in the field in general than we saw on track in practice, aside from in the Cup practice. Do you think that how do you feel we're going to see this race proceed in with all that considered?
Well, I shouldn't have ran. I just think this race is going to be... I've seen a handful of Bristol races in my life, and with these drivers' experience and skill level, plus just sort of how Continental races usually go, I just expect this to be a wreck fest. I expect a D&Q via engine exploding. I expect a bunch of D&Qs via crashes. I expect people to end up laps down. I don't want to say I expect the worst for these drivers, but that's kind of the only thing to expect. It's at least what I would be telling my drivers going into this race, because, it at least prepares you in case it happens, and if things are going well, then you can take it as is and try and do your best, get some points out of today. But yeah, this is definitely a track where you want to think about the worst case scenario. And as much as you don't want to see it play out, I think it's probably going to play out.
Well, that is interesting to note. All right, let's go through our starting lineup here for the Gainbridge 300 from Bristol. In row 1, it's Kate Summers and Takamoto Aya who lead us to the green. Row 2, Lara Sundale is alongside Naomi Davenport. Row 3 is Liz Roberts and Rose Lockport. Row 4, the 46 Shizzy Min and the 55 Deborah Williams. Row 5, second place at Irwindale, Robin Morales is alongside two-time winner this season, Izzy Oberman. Row 6 is the 78 Lexi Rockwood and the 24 Ashley Johnson. Row 7, the 0 Hieta Yoko and the 4 of Cassidy Jones. Row 8 is the 31 Lori Ramirez and the 59 of Abby Buchanan. Row 9, the 16 Leah Azelhart alongside the 62 Vinnie Schultz. Row 10, the 04 Eli Ile and the 44 of Lulu Kani. Row 11, the 66 Jet Brackett and the 14 of Katrin Edelstein, Brackett winner last week in Texas. Row 12, the 51 Stella Arcadia and the 54 of Brenda Davis. Row 13, Kathy Ableton Perez and Krista Anderson. Row 14 is Jennifer Wilson in the 60 and Latanya Gray in the 65, who got a podium finish at Irwindale. Row 15, Daytona winner Freya Von Lundquist alongside her teammate Zoe Quinton. Row 16, the 99 Karina Willis-Calloway alongside Isabella Fitzmaurice. Row 17, Eliza Evergreen, who won back in Irwindale alongside Cara Reynolds. Row 18, the 64 Mayumi Moriyama and the 6 of Luxakuma. Row 19, the 7 Reina Munoz and the 2 of Rachel Ramos. So, we've got a little bit of time before we get going on the grid here. This is a short track. This is a very difficult track to drive, especially for 300 laps in a row. What do you think the story of the racing is going to be outside of, the incidents that we may see?
I think it's what Rasha said in the pre-race studio. I think what we're going to see is, in terms of racing, I think the teams that we saw in Irwindale are probably going to move their way up to the front. We're probably going to see some people, desperate people on the outside, try to insert themselves into the inside line as fast as possible, which could cause some problems, or just holding up the pack. Might let a couple of these drivers out in the front just pull away, and I guess then you get to the point of lapped cars, and they're always a problem, especially on these short tracks. But I think I'm gonna take a risk and say that I don't think lapped cars are going to be as big of a deal today. I feel like, again, these drivers, they're going to know when to get out of the way. They're going to know not to make a a really stupid mistake, block people, get people angry and riled up. I think it's in their best. Think it's in their best situation not to do so. So I think we'll probably see some passivity in terms of lap traffic, which will definitely help these drivers not get into a couple more accidents when they need to.
Well, we are rolling from the last great Coliseum. 300 laps tonight. How long will this race take? Only people from the future will know that one. Pace car will pull off. It'll be Summers and Aya who will lead them to the green flag. Here we go. We're racing in Bristol.
Boy.
Yep, as we expected, the inside lane gets the better jump. Well, we made it a lap. Summers leads that first lap. This track gets really hairy. There's just not a lot of room to run here, so very difficult to maneuver this track. As Aya is still stuck on the top side, she has fallen back very far, back to 9th, and is going to fall back even further.
And I think people can hold it too wide. I think it's whether someone really wants to force the issue and make it 3 wide, which they might not do in this case. Again, just trying to save themselves from any wrecks. But yeah, no, Kate Summers, that inside line, out about as fast as you would expect. Jet Brackett, she's on the inside to start.
Caution is out.
Outside. Oh, that didn't take long.
Oh, the 65 upside down the back straightaway.
We got a flipper, and this is going to be a problem now, isn't it?
It should be good.
Alright. No damage through backup. That's a good sign, but geez. Latanya Gray.
Let's see, Rockwood actually made a pass there for the 5th position on Robin Morales. The 78 was able to get by her teammate.
Oh.
Bit of a split strategy. We got some cars coming down the pit road, some cars are staying out here.
What would they be getting a couple laps in? I can't imagine this would be...
Probably tires, if I had to guess. This pit road crams up pretty quickly.
Well,
so again,
give it a chance.
Need to clarify that the pit road rules here are a bit different than how you may be used to seeing pit road rules at Bristol. You will be required to go through both pit roads under all circumstances. So under the caution flag and the green flag, you will have to go under both pit roads.
Well, 31 jumped to 26, it looked like. Or at least the 78 was jumping people.
Let's go back and see what happened to the 65.
That just was awful.
The 3 wide
well, there's your 3 wide.
Bonnie and
Vinny
Schultz.
rolls 2. Oh, that's not good. And bang. Okay, then. Jeez. Brenda Davis. Oh, the 5 car too.
I actually think the 44 and the 65 are the only ones that get damage from this. I think those other cars were able to avoid it. 65's retired from the race, as probably expected.
That's just...
The 31 is back down pit road, and that car is smoking. That is...
Oh, no.
That's not a good sign for that team.
That's awful. Lori's on the cut line, too.
Yeah, Ramirez.
That might cost her a lot.
That's not a good thing for that team, and they're going to park the car.
Oh.
Well, we've gotten the 1 to go signal.
Yep. Alright, we're going back. Sucks for Latanya. That's like her 3rd or 4th... Is that like her 3rd or 4th wreck that's caused her to not finish?
Something like that.
I know she's gotten a lot of finishes outside the top 30, so...
Technically, we had 2 lead changes under that cycle. The 45 actually beat the 8-2, the start-finish line on pit road. Here we go. Green flag is out. We're back to racing in Bristol.
This is where we should hope that nothing
Here comes Sundale for the race lead.
No hesitation on it, too. That's going to really hurt Kate Summers. She's got a lot to go back, and now it's Yoko, too. Oh, boy. He got outside line faster than I think we wanted. This is going to have some problems. IP3 wide, I think. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, and the wall goes to 51. They're going to hang on to it. We're going to be good.
Good job, guys. Whew. Saved it.
They hung on to it. Just barely, but they hung on to it.
Oh, not again. Oh, it's Morales this time, too.
With Rockwood, around goes the 78.
No. That's going to be another one. Oh, look out.
Caution is out once more, but looks like not too much damage.
Nope.
Zero car came down pit road here.
Interesting.
It's the second caution of the day. On lap 14, and I mean, I guess you can't really say this isn't what we expected.
Nope, what I think what neither me nor Roger didn't expect is, well, can we call it a commentator's jinx if Project Horizon has just had a couple of issues? Because, I mean, the 26 is going to get away with relatively no damage, but, you know, Rockwood spinning is definitely not going to help her chances.
I think she might be okay. I don't think anybody really has particularly major damage from that.
Oh, 44 though.
44. Well, yeah, the 44 already had damage. That's from the earlier incident.
Oh yeah, it's a little.
44 should get the free pass here. So she was 3 down. She's actually going to go to 2 down.
Okay. Wish she doesn't hit someone on the way there.
Okay, well, she's going to pit, apparently, so I'll wave her around again next time by. Fair few cars taking 4 tires here. 78 you're seeing take 4.
No, I should have asked this earlier. This is under unlimited tires rule, right?
Yeah, correct.
Alright. Well, that makes sense then. And for if you're gonna get the chance to, you might as well just use your tires at every chance you get. If you're not a couple laps down, I think that'd be you just gotta keep getting fresh tires. Not a terrible play, but if we do get a long green run,
let's go back and review what happens to the 78 of Rockwood. Obviously alongside Azelhart, they're 3 wide. They're all bunched up and just kind of makes contact, just spins it around. 16 made a little bit of contact there.
Azelhart, I think, was actually getting a kind of a good run around the side. Might have just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Rockwood just kind of didn't realize that the 16 was there.
Yeah.
Gracia, what do you got on the 31 of Ramirez as we're about to go back green?
Yeah, Echo, I think the gearbox on the 31 car just blew on that thing. It didn't sound particularly good. They were trying to change the gears on that 31 car just to see if what was going wrong on it, and it just apparently it was just entirely locked up. So that was an early end to the race for the 31 team, and yeah, that's a pretty unfortunate failure to have for this early on.
Battle for the lead. Summers back to the inside on Sundale.
These two might be battling all day if these cars can hold on to it. 22's going up there, though. Ooh!
Davenport, is very close. Just barely managed to get by the 40. Barely managed to get underneath. And now Sundale is going to be stuck up on that top lane. And, that's the thing here is you don't want to slide up to the top side here. You just can't get that momentum.
Yeah, at least he gets back down there now. But man, that was a move out of Davenport. I really it really did look like she saw Hyundai kind of slam the door and get back in line, and she said, "Oh no, you don't," and made sure that she was not cleared. We have a car coming off the pit
Before
lane.
it's going off the pit road, that might have been a pit. That might have been a penalty.
Looks like it might have been.
That's actually
That's gonna mean-
that's gonna hurt the 40 here, I think.
I think so too.
22 is kind of holding with the 8 right now. But we have, you know, an actually kind of decent semblance of where everybody's running. Eliza Evergreen, Irwindale winner. She started back in 33rd. She's already up to 12th. I think part of that is some pit strategy, but...
She just got around Morales too, and now Morales, well, that's not something she wanted to see this early in the race. The rear bumper, the 10 car, bringing back some painful memories. That bracket moved all the way up here is now on the outside. That's not going to help her out. 62
Caution. 55 is in the wall.
Aye.
Deborah Williams.
That looked dug in, and oh man, that's it for her. That's really going to hurt her standing up there in the
She was 4th in points coming in, and I don't think she's going to be there after this. I think the 44 is actually pit looping.
Yeah, Brackett and Schultz being this high up, yeah, she's got a lot of drivers on her butt, I think.
Well, I think everyone's coming to pit road.
Probably gonna...
7 of Munoz should be the free pass car.
Tires.
Watching the pit stop on the 8 car here, who was the leader coming in.
He's going 4.
You've seen the lead.
Does anyone else go 2?
Looks like a few cars have taken 2 tires here.
60. Ooh.
And the winner of the race out, it's going to be the 77. Rose Lockport will jump the field off pit road here.
And Morales. Morales gets up to 2nd.
Yeah, I think that's strategy. I think that's taking 2 tires.
Gonna help out Project Horizon. Denny Scholes and Jet Brackett up here. Sure is also strategy for them, knowing they're one of their rivals up there on the top of the stand.
0-4 actually stayed out. So the 0-4 did not come to pit road. That car is on the lead lap, so that is the leader.
Makes sense for Eli. Second to last in points. He definitely needs a run here today. So any chance you get in the front, might as well take it. He'll get a lead a laps out of this, so that's an extra point.
Yep, that's a bonus point for the 04.
That'll certainly help.
Lights are out on the pace car, so we are going to go green once more. Third caution of the day here on is ending here on lap 31. Hopefully we can go green for a little bit. Hopefully we can get a decent green flag run here.
Yep.
For a little
Maybe
while.
we can figure out what happened. At some point we can figure out what happened to the 55, but that did not look pretty, so maybe it's for the best.
Oh yeah, I actually did mean to look at that. Hold on, I'll pause before we go green.
Yeah, we have the power to stop time here. Don't mess. Oh my goodness! What happened?
In front of her, the 44, the 5 gets in the wall.
Oh.
Ouch.
That's whiplash. Oh, Zoe Clinton.
Here we go. Green flag is out, and we're racing in Bristol once again. Good jump for the 04.
Oh, wow.
Morales was looking to try to dive down on the 77, but she couldn't do it. The 8 is going to get by her teammate. Summers gets by Johnson. That 8 car looks very fast.
Yep, Uberman Enterprises might have gotten a good car for Summers, and Summers has been driving it well. But yeah, Eli.
Pretty well out there
So
right
that'll-
now. Oh, man.
Absolutely.
26 is really
Second.
looking on the 77, but just can't pull that move off quite yet.
Again, this is what Project talked about in the pre-race. Project Horizon cars are definitely going to be some of the ones going the most aggressive on track. Is Rhea Munoz coming down pit road?
7's back down pit road. I'm not sure if she got penalized or what. Whoa, the 5
Oh, Clinton.
exiting
Oh,
pit
that's
road.
going to really anger some people as we're 3 wide.
At 3 wide.
We're
26
fine,
and
but-
77
oh,
got in
that's
the wall, but they're going to keep it straight.
Oh, man. Those teams are going to be angry at each other.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mick Millen Enterprise is going to have a lot of people to apologize to for Joey Clinton's actions so far. 'Cause that's
62 slides up. Here comes Brackett in the 66, going to take second spot away. Summers now up to third. And yeah, the 5 is going to need to kind of pull out of the way here. But, I mean, you said that you didn't think lap cars would be an issue. I would beg to differ. 77 just came to pit road. I think that was from the damage that she had after getting into the wall.
Yeah. 35 car 2.
35
Whoa,
car
that's
also
twice
just
now.
pulled up in a bit of an interesting spot. 66 does get by the 5 here, so the pit exit is just very tight here. We've got about 10 laps under green now, so I'd say that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think people are falling down, but yeah, no, that 26 has got to be flecking it every time she gets around the track. There always seems to be a lap car suddenly right in her face. There's the 77 now back on track, but she's going to get out in front of Jet. So, man, Eli. Suddenly, all the drivers who could catch Eli, not got to float up a little bit behind lap cars as there goes Summers, and now she's enjoying about a 3-second lead, but yeah, Pete Summers gets out ahead of Lockport. I do not think Eli is going to be so comfortable these next for these next, I don't know, 30 or so laps.
Yeah, I think Summers and Brackett both have cars that are faster than the 04. The 04 is out there on strategy, pretty well out front right now, but I think these cars are just kind of getting held up by the lap car. Oh, they're really getting held up. They are not having an easy time getting around the 77 of Rose Lockport.
Absolutely not. Oh, well, 5 car finally gets put wide. Vinny Schultz has had enough. Let's take Wilson with him.
Yeah, Schultz finally gets by there. Brackett looking underneath Summers. Not gonna make that stick though.
Bracken and Wilson Gulf Racing looking really good now.
And the caution is back out.
Oh,
25
well, the 1 is
and the 4 have spun around in turn number 1.
They're gonna hold on to it though.
And we're right back under the yellow flag.
Look out. Oof.
These two are actually still racing back to the line, so I think that's why.
Understandable. But man, that's gonna hurt Eli. Eli could have gotten out. Eli could have done a lot more damage, and now, yeah, she's gonna have to come down to pit.
Yeah, everyone's going to come down pit road here, it looks like. 42 Freya von Lundquist is the free pass car here.
Wow, we already have 25 cars off the lead lap. They're only 25.
25 on the lead lap.
Yeah.
4 tires
Bristol
once
pit
again.
road, I guess.
I mean, I think this kind of shows, you know, strategy. You can take no tires, and it's still pretty solid. It doesn't really. I think the tires don't really wear out that much. So.
Yeah, but question is whether the whether the strategist for the other teams is going to take note of that, or whether Eli's, I don't know whether what's worked so far is going to.
04. I mean, the 04 had such a big
out.
lead coming into the pits that I don't think it mattered.
Yep, but we're going to see. Maybe someone tries to pull that off later in the race. You know, the seeds have been planted now. See if anyone decides that it's worth it to get some spots or maybe even get the win, but we're going to have to see. Ask Jones and...
Well, let's go back and see what happened to bring out the yellow flag.
Honda and a Merc running into each other. It's not a good sign, usually. Oh boy, that seemed like a lot of... Yep, 3 wide.
I think the 25 just kind of forces the issue, and the 99 doesn't really have anything she can do. Karina doesn't have anywhere she can go. Good job by Ableton Perez not hitting the inside wall. Good job by both of those drivers to not actually hit anything.
Yeah, they were just... Yeah, there's really nothing you can do.
I am pretty impressed that we haven't really seen a true big one. Like, the biggest wreck we've seen has really only been, like, 1 or 2 cars.
No, it's mostly just been, like, cars that, you know, go 3 wide, one or two of them get collected, and then that's it. People have been really good at avoiding them.
It's very hard
Especially that.
It's very hard to keep up with all the action here, so... we will try our best to keep up with everything, but I can't guarantee everything will be covered.
Nope. Short track, but a lot of things happening around it.
I guess the 95 is just not going to take her lap back. Okay. Here we go. Back to green flag racing in Bristol once more.
Crew chief might not have helped her out there. And yeah, she gets put outside anyway, so it's not going to help.
Now, I don't wonder if some of these cars that pass that 95 might get penalized. No, doesn't look like it. Whoa, 62 got penalized, though. Vinny Schultz is coming down pit road.
Oh, boy, that's going to hurt. I saw something happen. I swear it looked like someone hit the wall back there. Oh, we're going to go 3 wide again in front of him. Oh, this is going to go well. Oh, nope, we're fine. They figured it out.
Barely, but we are all right. So, Ile has the lead. Maybe we can get a few green flag laps in here.
I think we can.
We've seen 4 yellows so far in 58 laps, which admittedly not impressive, but it's not the worst we could be having. So you can give them that.
If 54's back out on the track, that's going to cause some issues.
54 is just going to be a bit of a roadblock here, I guess. 66 looks outside. That's not going to work.
59's up here now. We got a lot of surprise drivers. At least drivers we were talking about. Buchanan.
Remember Buchanan ran well at Irwindale without having a hood on that car? Like, she was running really well in that race.
Yeah.
In the modified. We got a battle for 4th here. Here comes Johnson on Wilson. Here comes Overman trying to take a spot for Buchanan. She'll actually slide by Wilson as well.
This Roberts is up here now. Eliza Evergreen. That's not something someone wants to see.
Evergreen, who's already the points leader, and she's running tomorrow's race in the Windows Cup Series. She's made her name for herself as one of the better short track racers, but she's also just made a name for herself as one of the better racers in this series. So.
Oh.
04
Where'd the
kind of
14
got.
come from?
The 04 got held up by the 14. The 14's a lap car.
That's
14 might have also
yeah,
gotten a penalty.
Probably. Gap's back down to under a second between Summers and Eli, but
Here
actually
comes
Johnson's up here.
Overman's
Overman
looking on the 24. 93 and the 24 looking at a potential battle here for position.
Robin Morales made her way all the way back up to the top 10 too.
Yeah.
What Rosh said, the cars that are going to be the best are going to start moving towards the front, and the cars that aren't, well, you're either moving to the back or you're going to be stuck into the lap traffic, and
Whoa,
we'll see how that
26
goes.
has just come in. Well, something must have happened to that car.
Right as I said it. I tried.
Yep, you jinxed it.
Father.
Yoko taking a spot away from Jennifer Wilson right there. That's the 8th position.
Sundale's back.
Sundale. Yeah, Laura Sundale, remember, she led a little bit earlier on in the race. She dropped back, but she's now up to 10th. Closing in on Wilson here for the 9th position. Her teammate out front, Eli, remember, also led quite a few laps in Irwindale. This place is all about track position. I mean, you know, you can make moves here, but you really need to be fine-tuned with them.
Absolutely. It's gonna, man, jet bracket sometimes. I just see her running the outside, and I'm questioning what she's doing.
Summers is closing a little bit.
She's been in that interval between
Caution.
like
42 of Von Lundquist is around down the front straightaway.
and another single car wreck. That car will have a little more damage than the others, though. Be careful.
I don't know if she hit anything other than maybe the wall. Maybe the outside wall. Whoa, be careful. Okay, we're good, I guess. '78 Rockwood will be the free pass car.
And stacked up again. I think if we see this car go well, I think we have to admit that Eli's car is really good on those short runs, but maybe a longer one might benefit someone like a Sundale, like Summers or a bracket.
Well, we've only really seen short runs so far. I mean, I think this last run we just had was about the longest we've had so far. We had about, we went about 20 some laps.
Just gonna have to see. Staying out.
.45, I believe, is off the lead lap. I believe she's trying to take. Take the wave around here. Same with the 26 and the 95. 8 car jumped the 04 on pit exit.
Summers have higher.
So Summers.
Enterprises. Good.
Summers is taking the lead off pit road.
That'll make things interesting.
Yep, 8 car out front.
Ooh, someone got by bracket. 24.
Johnson.
Ashley Johnson.
Bracket.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Great pit
Uberman
stop
Enterprises had.
Great stop for both the Uberman teams that are in the race.
That'll be a real benefit.
Well, let's go back and see what happened to the 42 to bring out the caution flag.
It happened.
Oh.
Oh, she just missed the corner entirely, and
Just a horrible
Ableton
corner
Perez
exit
were to
right
go.
on the outside wall. Ableton Perez couldn't do anything. Still did a good job not making that a huge one.
Yeah, but that explains all the damage on Lundqvist. She really did it herself. Inside and T-boned. Ooh. Did someone's car just have a mech fail?
Ooh. Yeah, the 14 is pulling down Parrot Road.
Oh. It's like thought I was seeing something on my monitors and oof. That's gonna be an unfortunate, probably a race ender for Catcher Needlestein. I believe she was a lap down quite a couple times, so. Although that's another top 10 driver in the points out of it after Deborah Williams. So we're certainly getting our fill of drivers from all over the point standings up here in the front, and with a chance to do well in this race. Are we having more?
I think we're okay.
Gas.
Green flag,
Alrighty,
back out. We're back to racing here from Bristol as Summers gets the jump on Eli.
Wow. Clean air does wonders at this track.
It does. I mean, it's just how Bristol is. Clean air is just so useful here.
Well, I say
But also,
that,
you know what's
suddenly-
even more useful is the bottom lane.
Yep, 93's learning that.
93 has
Real
been
quick.
shuffled to the outside, and she's going to lose multiple spots. Here comes the 10 on the 59 of Buchanan.
Oh boy. And now Robin Morales is nowhere to be found. Evergreen charging through.
Well, Morales is also at the back of the field right now, 2 laps down.
Yep. Huh.
So, you know, that's kind of why.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Mercs, by the way. I just noticed that. Mercedes 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, great run for the Mercedes so far, as Kate Summers out front of Eli and Ashley Johnson. 4th is Jet Brackett in a Chevrolet, last week's winner, and behind her is her teammate Jennifer Wilson in another Chevy.
Up, and there's a 95 to cuff. Woof.
The lap
Talk
car
about a...
stacks up the 0. That's going to let the 64 by.
Yeah, Naomi Moriano's moved up here, too.
Yeah.
Who was one of those was needed the...
Caution is out.
You know? Oh, that's more than one car this time.
That was
And
Schultz, Willis, Callaway, and Morales, I believe.
Ooh.
3 pass car should be the 25 of Ableton Perez. We can get we can get sorted out here, that would be very nice. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
So they're 3 wide off the corner. Morales just gets into Schultz, into the wall, goes to 62.
Ooh.
And where's the 99 come into this?
99.
Oh,
Oh,
the 99
avoiding.
wasn't even involved. Okay, so it's just that far back. So what? That's 6 cautions now, I think.
I think so. Oh,
It's Bristol.
it's Bristol.
Can't say we didn't expect this.
So, but what's unexpected here is that I don't see anyone pitting.
Yeah,
Unless
nobody's
they're
coming
gonna
pit
come
road.
around here.
Well, the 35's
Only
coming pit
35.
road, but that appears to be it.
think a lot, man. There's a part of me that thinks a lot of the pit strategy right now is being governed by where the leaders are, and leader comes down, you want to get your lap back, you go. If nothing else, there's no reason to go out and pit. So that's gonna be really interesting. Where I think a lot of drivers are just gonna be like fighting, just trying to fight to figure out if the leaders are coming down and whether they can get a lap back. Because yeah, right now just over 20 drivers left on the lead lap. Real interesting.
Lights are out on the pace car. We're about to go back green this time. For all it's only been about 40 minutes since we began this race, so... Well, it's actually only been 35, because technically the first 5 minutes are pre-race warm-up, but... for 90 laps and, 6 cautions, this hasn't felt like it's taken that long.
Nope. Question is, how many green flag stops are we gonna get?
Probably 0. Green flag, here we go. We're back to racing in Bristol.
Man, those two, oh man, Elay and Summers are hooked up. I swear on every restart they're just immediately putting a gap between them and the next car. Oof.
24 has really slid back. Here we got the 0 trying to get underneath the 59. Yoko trying to get by Buchanan. Here's Wilson trying to pass Brackett for the fourth spot.
Those are teammates. Don't hang your teammate out to dry.
Here comes Evergreen for that 5th spot. And Brackett is stuck now up top.
Of all this wave, all these consistent laps, and she might not be in the top 10 when she gets back to that inside lane. Or maybe not. I see some gaps back there. Maybe she'll be alright.
Not going to get down here. Whoa, there was a spin in 1. Looks like we had no caution. Might have been I believe it was the 40 of Sundale.
What happened to Sundale? Oh.
They're 3 wide here.
Another 3 wide. Oh, what was a 14 doing?
Morales spun. Nothing Sundale could do there. They kept it straight, so that's why there was no caution. Nobody spun around there.
Was that Edelstein who caused that in the black car?
Yeah, that's Edelstein in the 14.
Oh, jeez. Man.
Lewis Calloway in the 99 just exited the pit lane.
And, well, I think Eliza's gotten some help from cars coming out of the pit lane so far, so I think it was probably time someone starts holding it back. Although not for long, Eliza got under that 9.
Yeah, the 10 is going to get underneath now.
There's more ammo.
Kind of the whole top 4 kind of bunched up now. Wilson could have had a shot there on Johnson, but they both slid up the track. They both ran wide.
Yep.
Eli looks high.
Oh, Eli's looking forward. That's going to allow Johnson to catch her. Oh, there's another one.
The pit road. Obviously with damage.
Yep. You've hit 100 laps.
Wilson underneath Johnson for 3rd. I mean, this is a tough racetrack. You got to be on your toes here. I mean, we're all I think everyone was kind of watching this 10 car of Eliza Evergreen to see if she could make her way through the field, and she's done it.
Absolutely.
And it's not, a bit of it was strategy, yeah, but she's still had to pass a lot of cars, and she's done it. She's passed quite a few cars to get up here.
Definitely looking like someone you're going to have to watch on the short track in the playoffs. And I mean, you got North Wilkesboro, Oswego, Martinsville, and Kern County. So, you can do well on those tracks. We maybe seen championship contender before our eyes with how Eliza Evergreen has been conducting herself at tracks that you're going to need to be pretty good at going into Ooh, 4 car.
4-car has some damage and is on the pit lane. Yeah, Eli's starting to drop off on terms of pace now, I think. So I think, yeah, that 04, not very good on the long runs here. And we're seeing the 60 kind of close in on the 04 right now.
It'll be really interesting to see what the 60 does. Yeah, and 60 kind of left teammate Jet Brackett out to dry. Jet's outside the top 10, so you know Jennifer Wilson is willing to do at least anger her own team to get some spots here. So what will she do to get around Eli? Might be a bit interesting, but she did just walk up the track there and lose some time.
Yeah, she washed up and lost a bit of time there. But I mean, these two battling, it's probably going to let the 8 get away a little bit.
Absolutely. And she is, and oh, 77 is going to probably cause problem. Oh, no.
That's an issue on the 38.
Oh, the 60 just got cut off by the 77. She's going to get around, but that's going to slow her down. And now, oh, Eliza's going to gain a position out of this. Because Ashley's actually going to get around the 77.
Is she?
Maybe. Maybe. Ooh, this is going to hold up Evergreen at least. You can see that Mayumi Moriyama is starting to move. They're closer and closer to these two.
Oh, here comes Evergreen to the inside. And she'll take that spot away. That's fourth.
Oh, 24 just ran out of gas.
Could not hang on to it. I hope I don't jinx it, but I think this is the longest green run we've had. We're at what, 23 laps, and
I'll go ahead and say it with you.
This is a pretty long. This is a pretty solid, decent, long green run right now.
Yep, I can agree on that. We'll have to see. Although, man, we have 18 cars in the lead lap right now.
Only
60 is catching the 4.
Yeah, 60's catching back up to the 04, but
04 is not gaining any time on that.
The 04 has been doing a good job of just kind of holding on here.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to make some adjustments to that car. Should we get a caution at some point? Because they're gonna want that car to be better on the long runs.
Russia, what happened to the 38 of Isabella Fitzmaurice?
Yeah, Echo, that's another gearbox failure on one of the Ozark cars. I think it'd be a little bit concerned if you were either a 10 or 54 running, considering that both the 31 and the 38s, I believe, have had gearbox failure. And both experienced some sort of gearbox failure, and that seems to be the same issue that the 31 had earlier on in the race. I mean, considering the amount of restarts and we're having at this track, I'd wager a guess and say that, you know, it's definitely putting a bigger strain on the gearboxes that most teams are going to be looking at, considering how many times cars are having to shift up and down through the caution phases. So, just something to look at here for the Ozark cars, for the Ozark Motorsports cars. I did talk to some of the engineers over there, and there's a little bit of a cause for concern. They're not the amount of wear they're expecting from those cars isn't that far from normal. I think it might just be a bad batch of gearbox on those cars. We'll just have to see over time.
Yeah, that's really tough. And you know, the other tough thing is we just saw Eliza Evergreen lose 2 positions there, right there. Passed by a couple of the.
Oh wait, hold up. Morales is back. Morales really.
Well, Morales is gonna put
Well, but no matter what, she's gonna put Evergreen on the outside. That has to feel good for her.
That is, yeah. Evergreen's gonna lose another spot here from that though, because that's gonna let Akuma get by. She might let Stella Arcadia get up to her. No, not close enough. Lexi Rockwood is up into 11th, so hey, for those of you who are talking about the Project Horizon cars, pretty good sign, because Rockwood got that free pass, got back in the lead lap, and she's made the most of it.
Oh, 8's going up on lap car. They've
caught to lap cars.
We finally had a long enough green run to get to lap cars.
They're up at the lap.
Naturally.
Yeah, they've caught lap cars here. The 04 has caught up, but so has the 60. Kind of held up everybody.
Alright, this is where it gets interesting. Gulf Racing. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Gulf Racing versus
PHLM versus Uberman. Now scroll back here. There's Rockwood kind of just trailing Oberman. I mean, it's tough to make moves here, but if you get held up by someone, you know, then it becomes a little easier because you're trying to look to the outside just to try and stick as much of the nose in clean air as you can, and sometimes you just lose a little too much.
Absolutely, I think.
And look at this, they're catching up some.
Oh man,
pretty badly slow cars now.
It's even crazier is these three drivers are. I don't want to say they're playing with house money right now, but given where they are in the standings, these are three drivers that are definitely will go all out to get the lead and the win. So what they do around lap cars is going to be real interesting. And right there, Jennifer Wilson just not having the runs on that turn is going to give the 08, the 8, and the 04 a little bit of a chance to escape.
Oh, the 24.
24.
Oh, that's an issue.
Oh no.
That is unexpected. That car we saw.
Oh.
That was the fourth place car, I believe.
Oh wait, no, she was. Oh no, Uberman Enterprises. It was the best of times and the worst of times.
That's another issue for that team, and you know, the only car we haven't really seen have an issue is Summers. But if you're Uberman Enterprise, I mean, you just can't be happy with how this season has gone for them.
Nope, not at all. AWSCO is still here.
78 just came down pit road. That might be damage related.
I'm thinking, yeah, no. I would assume that all these spots right now are, just people trying to fix some damage. Hopefully not getting caught out in case there is a caution. We're going to see how long this run goes, because we might get those green flag pit stops. That'll be my jinx against yours. We might get those green flag pit stops to be.
Well, the fuel window here is very long. It's about 150 laps.
Yeah, never mind. What's the tire wear? Probably around there too, isn't it?
Yeah, the tires really haven't worn out. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but their lap time is only about half a second off their fast laps.
Yeah, so we really take a real long run. Let's see though.
So yeah, we would need to have a really, really long run, not interrupted for a very long time.
Yep.
60 is there on the 04. I think the 60 is a little faster. Just kind of can't get that door to open up.
Yeah. And then you look at
Moriyama's now fourth. Yeah, I'm trying to watch this battle because this is a good battle right now for the second spot. Looks like the 78 came to pit road. These two aren't losing too much time to the 8 right now. They're not really gaining, but they're not losing a lot of time.
Might come down to these lap cars to whether they can catch Summers in the next couple of laps.
Summers is lapping the 25 here.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, these lap cars are going to stack everything up, and it's going to let, it's going to let Eli and Wilson close in.
Except for right here, because I think Summers put Ableton too wide immediately. These cars are having trouble getting around the 25.
The 25 also got a really good run off the corner.
Absolutely.
It's been kind of tough to pass up at the front, but, you know, further back in the field, we've seen a lot of action. There's Akuma fighting with Evergreen still in the 5th position. Oh, the 8 car got real wide there. 35 is coming back down the pit road. Oh shit, what happened to the 24 Johnson?
Yeah, we're starting to have a few cars having brake issues, overheating, and just kind of brake and issues with brake weight in general. And that seems to be, and I think this is one of those issues that I think is more predictable on a short track like Bristol. We had, I think, similar problems for a couple of cars at Irwindale. So yeah, I think some wear and tear is starting to occur on these cars. I believe the 14 also had a similar issue on the. I think 14 also had a similar issue earlier on, and they had to come in to repair some issues with their brakes as well. So that's another thing. That's another reliability issue that teams are going to have to be looking out for over the next half of the race, I think. Come back to you on the 78's issue. I believe that car was smoking when it was entering pit lane.
Oh, that's not good. Well, they saw as Marshall was giving that report, Jennifer Wilson was able to pass Eli Ile for the 2nd position, so the 60 car now up into 2nd. You think that 60 has a better shot of getting the 8?
I mean, as soon as you say that, they're going live, but I don't really know. I don't really know if anyone's going to be able to pass the 8. The 8's been pretty good on short runs and absolutely a monster on long runs. It would take someone, a lap car, really making a horrible decision and blocking the heck out of the 8. Something like that to happen, but we're really going to have to see.
I mean, I guess that's not too far-fetched.
But, I'm not sure. As I just noticed, top 10, Chet Brackett's made her return to the top 10, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of these mech fails have really been benefiting her, but Wolf Racing has the double top 10 right now.
Well, we have just passed halfway. We'll get you to the FanDuel Fan Studio as soon as we can. But there have been multiple issues on the track. Raja has an update on the 78 of Lexi Rockwood. What's up on that car?
Yeah, just one last report before we head back to the studio for the mid-race report. The 78 was suffering from a header failure somewhere. Suffering from a header failure on that car, and that
I think that was bringing the whole again. Oh.
Apologies for that. Yeah, but yeah, it was a header failure on the 78, and that I believe that's what caused the smoking issues on that 78. They're gonna have to retire that car, but that's a bit of a shame for a car that was running pretty well up until that point, I think.
Well, while you were talking about that, Wilson got by the 25, and the 60 car is closing in on the 8.
Oh boy.
So you may see a change for the lead here very soon.
Wolf versus Uberman. David versus Goliath at this point in the season so far is the 77. Wow, 77.
77 is a lapper. Oh, the 8 car goes a
right
little
down
wide.
the bumper. Oh, is the 77 gonna push her clit? No.
Oh, Wilson's gonna get to the inside. Here we go. Change for the lead. Jennifer Wilson will take it away. As we see the 5 car pulling down pit road. Well,
Jennifer Wilson.
we're giving him a little time. So now, you know, Eddie, we're going to have you dial into the studio. Rasha, what do you got down there for our FanDuel Fan Studio mid-race report? Try and make this as quick as you can, because laps go by really quickly here in Bristol.
And yeah, as I say that there's a caution. We're really, I think here in the fan studio we really are. Oh, I think the 8 might have hit one of the stop cars. Oh, that's a big, that's a big problem. The 62 and the 8. Where's the 8 going?
Oh no!
Well,
as soon as I dial in, I turn around.
Well, we made it a theme here in the FanDuel Fan Studio to cause as many issues, to cause as many incidents as possible whenever we're dialed in. And And now we're really getting into this now. There's been incidents in at least every other mid-race segment at this point, I think.
Mid-race studio chaos agents. That's what we've been for
But
a
yeah,
while. And yep.
Well, I don't think there's gonna be
That's
much
really
concern
gonna
about letting too many laps go through in this segment, as everyone is gonna be getting serviced. But yeah, I think so far I'm surprised we had that rather long green flag run, and because of that we were able to see some of the bigger issues, some of the issues that we were talking about in terms of lap traffic and reliability. I think, as we had quite a few cars have problems that I think were at least pretty standard things that I'd be concerned about when it comes to short track racing. Namely, you have brake failures. If you have a lot of restarts, obviously your gearbox is going to be put under a lot of strain. And believe I think we had a tire failure somewhere on track. I believe it was the 51 that had that. So, those are the kind of things that are worn out most on these short track events. So, not entirely surprised to see some of that show up in that long run. Eddie, you've also been watching the entire race from the booth. What did you think about the racing so far?
I think it's been nice. I know I got the lap traffic thing going on, but we have seen some good racing, especially with those top 3 cars at the end of that stint until, of course, the massive wreck is, wow. That 8 car went from looking like the best car on track to looking like a beat up old thing in a couple of seconds, from what I can see from up here. But yeah, the racing's been, do I have to say this? I guess I do. It's been better than I expected. Wish we didn't have so many lapped cars, but that's not I guess that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, we will have to see whether we get that type of racing, or if we're gonna get AWSCO becomes NASCAR moment, where we just get a bajillion cautions right before the end of the race in these last couple laps.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Considering we did have a flurry of cautions at the beginning of the race, but we did have a pretty long green flag run. So I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. We just have to see. So I think we're gonna get a replay of what happened in that caution to cause that caution. Yeah, we're on with the 54 Roberta Davis, so I think it's the stock car that Summers ran into. Oh, it happens in front of them. It's what is going on? Oh, it's Callaway moving Yoko out of
it's
the
in
way.
a Yoko.
Yoko stopped.
Yoko was a
track.
top 10 car too.
That's another top 10 car, yeah.
And then
let's see what Summers gets.
54 is the stock. Oh.
Not surprisingly, the 8 managed to slow down quite a bit. It's more or less the fact that she got into a bigger mess afterwards. She ran into the 8 there. The bigger problem is that she got sideways there, and the 62 and 51 kind of ran into her. And then the 62 just kind of blocks the entire lane, which causes all sorts of problems for everyone trying to dodge the wreck on the as they come to the line. But that's a pretty standard.
Edelstein today has just been absolutely going ham on everyone and anyone in her path, it seems.
Yeah, pretty much. As we're finally getting the signal, we're gonna get the restart here.
Yep. Jennifer
Wilson and
Wilson's
Eli
gonna
at the
get
front of the field.
This might be Wilson's race to lose
yeah,
at this point.
Might be Wilson. Wilson and Eli have definitely been 2 of the fastest cars. And now that Summers has been held back quite a bit by that incident, she's still running in the top 10, and on the lead lap. So we'll see what happens to her. But yeah, this might also provide a couple opportunities for guys that have been running further down the field at the edge of the lead lap, but haven't really been able to find that track position. Oh, that's Davenport coming through on the inside. But yeah, if you're Alexa Kuma type you've been running well in this race. You've stayed on the lead lap, but so far you haven't been able to run at the front just yet. This is a good opportunity for a driver like her to challenge for the win, maybe. Definitely is going to be the case as well. I think for the 45 and 46, I should say, and 64. These are 2 cars I think of. Moriyama was another driver who on that long run was able to keep, I think, steady pace with the leaders, but just didn't have the track position. This will give them a good chance to just see how the track position affects them, and maybe gain a few spots and even maybe and if they catch a quick caution, then I think more power to them, because I think these guys have the cars, I think, to challenge as well. We'll just have to see.
Absolutely. This has suddenly become a great day for Shizzy Min. Someone on the bubble needing a good run, as Summers might get under Moriyama at that point. That's what we're seeing.
It still looks pretty fast. It's still it's still battling with the 64 and probably the 46. So that's a drive. So I don't think the damage really hurt Summers that badly. She's still running pretty quick.
We'll hope. We will hope that maybe that 8 car can salvage something out of this, because that was something that was just not completely her fault, and probably, I mean, likely chance it might have ruined her chance of winning a race that was definitely winnable for her. As
Luxakuma.
Luxakuma.
That's the kind of move we were looking to.
Boy.
We were looking from Luxakuma, and I'll drag Min and Moriyama as well into that battle as Ile drops down to the bottom to the inside. But yeah, on the long run, this kind of racing is been what I expected from the pre-race show. Over the longer runs, we'll see that cars tend to stay on the bottom. That's pretty normal when it comes to Bristol. And at the same time, I'm surprised we did get those longer runs. I should say, especially when we saw the early fillery of cautions. I thought we weren't going to see any kind of long green flag running. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams set up their cars for this. Are they expecting another green flag run, or are they expecting another quick couple of cautions? We have filtered out quite a few cars due to those incidents. So maybe that's also playing a role in terms of this, reducing the number of cars. If you reduce the number of cars out on track, you reduce the likelihood of an incident happening pretty much just by elimination alone.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, at this point, what you've said has been true. I feel like you've had the better hang of this race than I have, but at the same time, we are definitely seeing what I think we both assumed, which is the drivers that are moving up to the front are also drivers who, I mean, they want this win. Jennifer Wilson needs it. Ile needs it. Summer needed it. I'm going to say that out loud because I don't think she's going to really have a chance to come back and win this one. Luxakuma, I guess, was a big surprise coming out of nowhere. Now it's in second.
Akuma's
testing Jennifer Wilson. Inverness might have built some kind of a sleeper car, and Akuma's been sprung across the field on this caution.
Akuma's one of those drivers that looks like they have that. I think she has quite a bit of speed on her. We'll see how this car performs over the longer run. She's losing a little bit of time for Jennifer Wilson, but I would say that this car here, Akuma, is the one I'd watch in my. It's the one I'd watch. Basically, I think this will be my fan pick for this race. That 6 car looks pretty quick, and I think she's about as fast as Wilson. Maybe she might need a caution, but at the same time, we won't know for sure until for at least a couple more laps, I think, before we do that.
I'll agree on you there and make my pick. I think Akuma's gonna get by Wilson one way or the other. I feel like it's been a great day for golf racing, but I don't think golf. I mean, I know golf would definitely want to be with the first team to say they have all 4 of their drivers in the top 20, but they might not be the day they get to say that. I think that 6 is coming in hot, and the field has held her back only so long, but it's not going to be long enough.
Well, I'm going to pick the 10 of Eliza Evergreen, one at Irwindale. She's been really good on these short tracks. She ran cup practice yesterday, so she's got, 90 minutes extra experience on this track. I think Evergreen's got, I think we get a couple more restarts, and I think that 10 car is going to take advantage of and pick up some spots on the restarts. I'm picking Eliza Evergreen.
Yes, you're ready.
That's your FanDuel fan picks. As we're starting to catch up to the lappers again. Wilson's closed up on Vinny Schultz, and this is gonna be where Akuma makes up that ground. Lap cars, they're not the lap cars are gonna hold up the leader enough to the point where it's gonna draw in, cars from further back, and give us a good battle. See, we saw Kate Summers kind of slipping back a little bit, but to be honest, the 8 doesn't look like she's lost too much speed from that. Obviously, she's not anywhere close to her pass speed, but she still looks pretty solid in terms of how her pace looks, I would say.
And you know, as much as Inverness really has a chance to do something really well, I mean, Vinny helped Lux get closer, but look at her. You look at O'Borman and Takamoto Ayo. If you don't consider Vinny Scholes having a, getting wrecked, just getting wrecked, it was not her fault. Inverness Racing has had a great day in terms of everything. And yeah, Toyota teams, we saw Lockport was doing well until she had some issues. It looked like a Mercedes day. It might end up being a Mercedes win, but right now we're starting to see some Toyotas, specifically a Toyota team, become a problem. As the 6 is ever closer, I think he might be in the draft. Well,
she's very close. I don't know how much. I don't know if there's really a draft here at Bristol. This track is a bit too small for a draft. We are seeing, they are running very fast lap times, though. They're running 14.6 as their fast laps. The 6 ran a 14.9. I mean, these are really fast laps that we're seeing these cars turn here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not a car you want to see next lap. Car through Jennifer Wilson. Katrin Edelstein.
Yeah, that 14 has not been particularly fast either.
No, but she's never been particularly, but she hasn't been particularly clean at all either. So
yeah,
you've got to watch out if you want to get by this 14. No telling what you might do in this one. Ooh, the 10 car.
Whoa, 46 just got the wall there.
No, that's gonna let Maury.
10 car slid way up the track there. Yeah, Oberman.
That's gonna let him. Oberman gain a position on the 10.
Ooh, the 6 is really close.
There we go.
This might be where the move happens.
Oh, she had a half a car length wide.
She's looking on the bumper of the 60 there.
Yep. 60 is getting lower than the 60. This might be inevitable. Just gotta wait for. Oh, except
slipped high a little bit.
Lost the run there. Blimp.
See, Moriyama's gotten by Min. Min has actually dropped back to the 7th spot now, right in front of Jet Brackett. I mean, really, really solid racing so far. That first chunk of the race, first 100 laps, a lot of yellows, a lot of incidents. This second part, these last 100 laps, have been really good long run racing. I've really enjoyed watching these cars race, even if there hasn't been the most passing on track. It's been really fun to watch, and there has been passing. They have been able to make moves, and I think that's the good part, is that they've been able to make moves.
Absolutely. But if they can't make moves, this is kind of not the track people want to be racing at. But I mean, you've also seen it. There's a little bit of difference. Some people just absolutely just mess up the corner, and at that point you can really see, right there, Luxakuma goes about half a lane wide, and that's going to let Jennifer get a couple more
that
on her.
half a lane is just enough to really unsettle you.
Absolutely. It's even weirder because then sometimes you see him go half a lane or even a lane up coming out of the turns, and that's when you saw, what was it, Von Lundquist? Yeah, it was. Freya Von Lundquist absolutely ending her race by slamming into the outside wall.
60 got underneath the 14 here.
Oh, yep. Oh, where's Sundail come from?
The 40 actually got lapped before. Now the 40 is going to try to punch a path through the 14 here. Yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, that's really lost Akuma a lot of time because she got checked up. She couldn't get past the 40.
Stop messing with our cameras, jeez. feel like the random noises that I'm hearing in the studio are going into the mic, but regardless. Okay, Mayumi Moriyama's caught up. Man, Moriyama's within 3 seconds.
Yeah, she's up to 4th. The 04 is closing on the 6 here.
Being within 3 seconds is rather big, because it does mean, you know, anything stupid happens. They're in a spot.
This is 16, last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, oh.
59 car is still on the lead lap right now. Abby Buchanan.
11 in the 8 up here. 8 Summers. Oh, well, Summers got back to the top 10 after falling out of it.
No, she never fell out of the top 10. She's been in the top 10 the whole time.
Oh. Yeah, it's been a weird day, I'm not gonna lie. But
she just dropped back to 10th, but that was it.
I don't think she's going to drop any farther at this point. I don't think of any cards, but
Well,
yeah,
it's
Kuma's
a
got to get
ways
by
back to the
Sundale.
next car.
Yeah. Kuma's got to get by Sundale. I don't know if that's possible, Brody.
I mean, we did see that they can, you know, she'll probably get by her eventually. Probably not right now, but at some
She's
point
running
she'll get
really
by.
wide. And Eli is catching her too.
I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes you can run wide on the outside and, you know, keep the momentum. If you just kind of gotta play it right. You kind of gotta run it just right, but you can make the outside kind of stick. It won't be faster, but it'll be probably about as fast as the very bottom.
Oh, she just
60's kind of slipping up to the top lane now.
Yeah. Oh, where'd Moriyama? Uh-oh, Moriyama's catching Eli. Eli is
Yeah, the
getting
64
closer
is
to
here.
Kuma. Suddenly, if that 40, if Jennifer Wilson can't get past these last cars and 40 gets out of the way, suddenly Moriyama.
6 actually turned the NordVPN fastest lap of the race during this run. It was a 14.681.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Wilson can't get by the 35 here.
Oh, and if she goes too wide with Von Lundquist, that's going to really open the door for Eli and Moriyama to make this more of a race. But nope. Going to get by really
But
quickly.
underneath,
I think, yeah, she has 1 and 2. That's not gonna
this is gonna drag in everybody else though.
Yep. Oh boy. Sundale did not get a good run, and now.
Yeah, but now the
Wilson's
60 is
getting
gonna
a
get
little
checked
bit of
up
a
behind a
gap.
lot of these cars. There's the 62. They're side by side in front.
Wow, Vinny Scholes. I'm surprised Vinny didn't put up more of a fight, given that would have really helped Lux.
I mean, not really much to fight for. If you're Schultz, you're what?
Well, you're 5 laps
about to
down,
be
but
five down,
your teammate's got a chance with the win there. You might as well at least do a little bit as
64
Moriyama.
slides up. Here comes
Moriyama.
Evergreen now. She's gonna take 4th.
Oh no. Oh,
Is she gonna take
that's
4th?
probably
Yes, she
gonna-
is. Okay. The 40's
Ooh,
caught
40
the
got
60.
back to the 60s bumper.
The 40's on the 60's bumper here. The 60 slips up and the 40's able to get underneath. That could be what Okuma needs to take the race lead.
Ooh, and Lux got a really good entrance into that turn.
Got a good entry, but she gets
Sundale
underneath.
didn't have a good one. Oh, she got underneath Sundale.
60
and
slipped
Wilson
up.
slid up too. Oh boy. If the 6 can get by Sundale here.
She does.
Yup. Oh no.
It might be on.
Eli might do it too. Eli might make it. This might be a 3-car race.
Yeah, keep in mind,
They'll
Sundale
fight
is
me
Eli's
on.
teammate.
Well, she did what she needed to do. And Sundale gave the positions right to her. Ooh, but man, this is real interesting.
Akuma's just
Akuma doing
kind of
things.
trying to get that bottom lane, cooking up something, but
Which is crazy because the 60 has been 60 was sliding up a lot, and now it just seems like that car is dialed into the bottom lane. But is this more of a wait until she makes a mistake moment? Eli is falling away from.
Yeah, these two
The
I think are.
six
I
by
think
that
these
much.
two are faster than the 04. Gonna cycle back through the field here. There's the 93 trying to get by the 10
Oh,
of
a
Evergreen.
Born?
Izzy Oberman trying to take 4th. She actually did get by Moriyama for the 5th position, so
Overman might be someone to watch. Oh, that 6 must have had a couple.
she slipped back a little bit, but
wins.
not too much.
No,
Could easily make
But
that
if-
up, especially with the 60 kind of pinned behind the 42 right now.
yeah. But at the same time,
Also,
Well, yeah,
keep
no,
in
the
mind
60
that a
got back.
restart could change everything.
absolutely.
They both went really wide.
Oh, does the 6 get the run?
Now,
Ugh.
that's going to let the 04 close back in. The 10 is pulled away from the 93. Yeah, these lap cars are... It's not easy to negotiate lap cars at a track this narrow.
Nope.
Bristol is just so narrow, so hard to
Oof.
maneuver that it's just really hard to get something going.
Hmm.
Six isn't losing too much time running a little higher.
She's gonna really need a really good
Yeah,
lap or two. to
the
catch
thing is,
the
she's
bumper.
the thing is for the 6 though, is she's not closing when she runs a little higher.
But she's
That's what
closing now.
kinda
Oh
trying to-
man.
She's trying to experiment a little bit, but yeah, the bottom lane just so much better.
Yep, and there she goes again. She could get the run on the outside. She's gaining momentum by rolling low. But every time she tries
She
to go
actually
up high, the
closed
stakes
there.
go-
Yeah, look at that.
Yep. Oh, she did. Ooh, okay. Does
Just trying to get a little bit of a, get in the gas a little sooner by sliding up the track.
we're gonna have to see
I
if
think
it
that's
works.
what she's trying to pull off here.
04 is okay. 04 has got within a second of Wilson, but doesn't
Within
need
a
much.
second, Evergreen
now.
has been caught back up by the 93.
You
30
can
cars
see
still running. 60 slipping
big.
just a bit, but not enough for the 6 to do anything right now. That's kind of that key, is you can slip a little bit. You can't slip too much.
You're really gonna-
There's a 66 and the 8 battling, Brackett and Summers.
Sakamoto Aya's made his way up to 7.
Bro, how do you do his? It's all women.
I slipped up once. I haven't slipped up the rest of the time.
Nope.
One little mistake.
Nope. We're blowing you up. 6 got
I'm not
really
sure you can
close.
advertise that on YouTube though, but whatever. Yeah, no. 6 is it's weird.
She had closed. She had gotten there to the 60 before, but she just couldn't get it to stick.
Yeah.
The 10 and the 93 are also kind of making this work too. The 60, I think, is kind of stacking up everybody right now.
Go train.
Train race, bad race.
Let's see. Oh, they're gonna be. Network's gonna be on our butts about that one.
And
But
more like the
regardless-
series. I don't think the network cares.
I mean, I could swear. Anyway.
As we apologize for the...
What? We even get the apology out. Anyway.
6 is there again.
Yep. Oh.
60 is really braking. You know, when the 6 gets there, the 60 brakes really early. Kind of checks the 6 up and forces the 6 to look a little higher. Kind of gets her out of line. Summers just passed Aya there. 14 car just got on the wall in front of all these cars.
Go up. It's not. It's just not working. It is really interesting to see how this 60 has become an absolute immovable object. These past, what is it?
Oh, she
20
slipped
or so
up. Here
laps?
comes Akuma.
Oh, as soon as I say it, commentator jinx. There we go. Akuma to the lead.
6 car to the inside. Wilson slips and Akuma to the front in the 6 car.
Gulf Racing is gonna blame this on me.
We're gonna blame everything on you.
What does that?
What do you think it
entail?
is?
I'm not even gonna. Oh goodness gracious. Well. Anyway. Oh, except as soon as that happens, 42 and 45.
Yeah, the 60's staying with the 6 here.
She is. I thought the 42 and the 45 were going to cause problems by going too wide, but now they're starting to get out of the way. And oh, what happened?
6, I think the 42 didn't realize she wasn't clear.
Yeah.
42 stays to the outside, lets the 60 through.
What?
Caution! We got a spin on the back straightaway. It's the 14.
It's Edelstein again.
Edelstein. Oh, and then she runs right up into the 93.
Oh my god. Edelstein, what's that? Someone is gonna have to go back in this video and count how many times Catherine Edelstein has caused a wreck or caused someone damage, because it is. I'm losing count now.
Oh, we had that long run. That was almost 100 laps straight under green, and
So close. Dang it.
we got that late yellow. The 14 spins around, and
93 gets collected. Izzy Overman was having a good run too.
25 of Ableton Perez will be the free pass car if she takes her lap. There we go. Oh, the four
blows up.
Well, that's a pretty terrible set of laps for Heath Clarkson.
Yep. Granted, Edelstein was already having a pretty funny race. So.
Well, this pit stop's
Yeah.
going to be everything. 6 is
Absolutely.
going to win. I believe the 6 has the race right now. Yeah, the 6 wins the race out. Akuma wins the race out, and she'll be the leader off pit road. It'll be Wilson second. Ile will cycle to third. Moriyama fourth.
Moriyama fourth.
Oberman
Moriyama
fifth.
beat
Evergreen, Summers, Brackett, Min, and Buchanan.
And 2 cars got around Eliza Evergreen. Although maybe that's a strategy thing. I couldn't see.
I think everyone took 4 tires, so yeah, I guess you just, you know, tires is going to be the key here. Nobody took fuel there, so it was all tires. It's all tire strategy here.
All right, 30-something laps to go. Things got interesting now. Eliza Evergreen being outside of the top 5 after her race so far is crazy.
Yeah, but keep in mind as well, we have what?
What?
Okay, the 25 is wave. I think the 25 is dropping to the back because they have the wave around, but
Yep, there we go. We're good, I think.
I need to lap plus the 25 on this next yellow. Never mind. We're going green right now. Here we go. Green flag is back out. We're back to racing in Bristol, and Akuma gets a great jump.
Clean air is helping. Does anyone else have anything for her at this point? Is
Back into the inside on Summers.
Yep.
Oberman to the inside.
Moriyama got
Moriyama.
Ooh. Phase 3. Might
Gotten
come down
away
to
a
who
little
makes
bit.
the mistake. Might come down. Race might come down to which one of those three makes a mistake, or which one doesn't make a mistake, or which one makes a mistake the earliest. Because I think the later mistake's really going to cost people. As soon as I say that, the 04 is starting to lose the gap to the 60.
Moriyama's really dropped back. So has Summers. Summers is still stuck on the outside. Just falling all the way back to 12th now.
Gaps are starting to widen.
Yeah, the 6 is starting to pull on the 60 a little bit.
And 93 is trying to hold back the 10 for all that she's worth.
Yeah, that's her 4th. You know, we're seeing the 6, the 60, and the 04 here right in those spots for maybe getting a podium.
Oh.
26 is a lap car. She's slow in front of these cars.
Real slow.
That's not what Akuma wants. It's really not what Akuma wants.
That 26 is not moving.
Now the 6 will finally get to the inside. 60
20
slides.
washes up.
Oh, wow, that was tight.
Almost contact.
That was almost 3 wide. They did a good job to make it not be 3 wide. Top 5 have all cleared the 26 now. The 04 is kind of on the 60, but I see the 93 is also up here. New NordVPN fastest lap, the 11 Takamoto Aya, 14.669. Aya's gotten a lot of fastest laps lately. She's really good at turning it up when it counts.
She heard me misgender her, and she got mad. That's my explanation for it.
Leah
Anyway.
Azelhart is in 10th. Remember, she got the free pass earlier?
Yeah.
She's actually moved up to the 10th position now.
Again, what we say? People
Ooh,
keep
we're
fighting.
wide.
As, Shizzy! Don't do
Oh,
that yet.
around
I
goes the
told you.
66 in front of the field. There's the
Into
caution
the
and the
wall.
14's in it.
Oh, after all that, Cash and Needlestein's going to end her race.
Yeah, that's
Caution.
definitely going to be the end for the 14 there.
Oh. Well, re-rack up, starting again. Man, that was hairy. And that was 2 drivers who were
66 is a lot of
we're
damage. Yeah, that
just
car
in the
is
top
going
10.
to be done.
All Shizzy Min had to do.
That was Liz
not-
Roberts in the 45. That was the 45,
Oh,
not the...
Roberts.
that was
Min was
Roberts.
the. Oh.
Min's the 46.
Yeah. I kept in my mind that Shizzy Min had been up in the top 10 for most of it. I thought that was her. Regardless.
I mean, yeah, Min is in the top 10 still.
Regardless, Liz Roberts really didn't do all that.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, no kidding.
they were running. I mean, Jet was Jet running top 10 at that point?
Yeah, she was 9th at that
It was
point. I
9th,
believe.
and then just, like,
They're 3 wide.
okay, you're gonna get past someone, but you don't need to just throw
I
yourself
think
into her.
it's
and
just a
Ugh. Ugh. Someone clips
someone clips Morales. I'm not sure
and
who.
Needlestein. Oh, 95 clips Needlestein a little bit there.
I'm curious as to what happened to the 14. on the caution before this as well, because I never checked that. Here's where it is. Oh, they're 3 wide here.
3 wide with Linton.
5 in the 95. 5 actually saved it there, but the 14 didn't. She backed it into the fence there. She's out of the race now. Well,
I noticed a bit of irony. Notice a bit of irony in that the 95 was kind of involved in Edelstein's wreck, and then the 95 may have gotten a tiny bit of damage being collected in that most recent one. So funny how things work out sometimes. What is the 40 doing? Oh, right, Takamoto Aya. Unnecessary.
oh, the 24.
It's gonna be an Uberman nightmare. That's gonna be a nightmare for the 24. Oh boy. Uberman Enterprises has had a day. And I don't think the owner is gonna be able to sleep at night after all that's happened on the racetrack tonight in Bristol.
Russia, what did you have on the 4 of Cassidy Jones?
Yeah, that engine just expired on that 4 car. I'm not sure what. We're not entirely sure what broke on it. The crew is still looking underneath the hood to figure that out. But it's definitely a terminal engine problem on them. We'll have to get back to you on the 24. That seems like another engine problem. I'll have to double check what happened to that. Now they're back to you here for the restart.
Well,
We've gone back
6 didn't
green.
get the jump we thought.
6 did not get a great jump. Here comes Wilson looking to the inside as well. Here comes Oberman for 3rd on Elay.
Oh boy. Does it make it stick?
Wow, the 04 actually managed to use the outside. But for how long? Evergreen slipped up. Here comes the 11 of Aya. Here comes a 59 of Abby Buchanan.
Here comes Kate Summers again.
Summers is up here, yeah. Look at that.
I guess it wasn't a total nightmare after all. They might get a top 10 out of this if we can keep it clean. But, well, I'm going to say it right now. I think if Oberman gets by the 4 there, I think she has a shot at catching those 2 cars. I think her chances at a race win, outside chance at a race win, might have gone up in smoke. It might be down to the 6 and the 60 unless this 04 really picks up.
It's going to be really hard to pass, especially here at the end. It's this is where it's going to be the hardest to make a move.
And I think we're at the point where we're not going to get any lap cars, so it's going to be
Probably
up
not.
to drivers only.
Like, unless we get another few restarts. How about Kathy Ableton Perez? Ran a lap down pretty much all race, up into 10th spot now.
He's been involved in at least 2 wrecks.
She's been involved in quite a few incidents.
That's going to be huge for her team. That's going to be a nice little badge of honor to wear these next couple of weeks, or at least going into the next race. But man, Lux is absolutely flying.
Yeah, that 6 car is pretty well out there. I mean, you have to give a shout out to Elay as well. This car has run quite well.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is great finishes for Eli and Wilson. It's both of their first podiums of the year. It's actually Jennifer Wilson's first top 10, let alone top 5.
Whew. She had a chance to win it, but
Yep.
Oh, we got a caution. 42 is
Oh, we
around.
do! Lundqvist!
The
Oh,
2, the
no,
5
this
as
is gonna
well.
be a
Ramos
real
and
interesting.
Ramos Quentin von Lundqvist.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that was von Lundqvist hitting the 4.
The 04, but yeah.
We have a 4 in this.
There is,
Oh, yeah,
there is a 4, yeah.
Yep.
That car DNF'd, actually.
That's on. Yep. We saw it happen in real time. That car blew the heck out. But okay, The question is, how many laps are we gonna have?
The 2 would have been the free pass car, but she's involved in the incident, so she actually will not be the free pass car.
It's the 40. Interesting. All right.
.42 is in front of the leader, so I'm just waving her around
Yep.
now. What happened to cause this incident? That's what happened.
Zoe Quinton has been in a bunch of these.
That's
Ew,
Ramos
yeah.
getting into Quinton, and they just all get in the wall. They all just
I
bounce
think-
off the wall.
I think Quinton was a driver who got in an accident running into the outside wall of turn 4 off of a 3 wide. So I think that was her just trying to not do that mistake again. And unfortunately, it caused the wreck the other way. Not a great day for her. Is this the latest we've had a caution in AWSCO so far?
No, Pikes Peak had one later. In fact, Pikes Peak we had a restart with 2 to go. I actually had to pace minus so that we would get a restart. Lights are still on.
We're gonna have
So
somewhere
we're gonna
near
have around
3 to go.
3 or 4 to go when we go back green. So yeah, this next restart will be the last one, no matter what. Even if if they wreck and the caution comes out, that's just gonna be the end of the race.
Yep.
So Akuma, Wilson, Ile, Overman, and Moriyama make up the top 5 right now.
I got by Evergreen. Lights are out. Oh,
Lights are out, so it'll be 3 laps to go when we go back to the green flag here from Bristol. Does Jennifer Wilson have one last shot at Akuma?
Does Eli have a miracle in her? Or is it going to be Lux Akuma making Inverness the second team to get 2 drivers into the playoffs?
We'll find out. Ace car's off.
So,
Here we go, green flag is out. Pretty solid start for Akuma. Not a very good start for Ile.
oh, Eli. Tires might be gone on Eli. What's Wilson got for? One's higher, I thought there.
2 to go. Akuma's just got to hold the bottom. Here comes Moriyama trying to take 4th from Overman.
Lux is gonna
White
have to
flag.
really messed up on one of these. Ran a better lap there. Lux. Oh, it's gonna
Aya
come down to
slipped
Lux
into
really
5th
quick in the
now.
down corner.
Slow cars
It's not
in
gonna
front, but
matter.
they're not going to matter. Lux Akuma will go to victory lane in Bristol. Akuma wins the Gainbridge 300.
Inverness Racing, take a bow. That car was on fire today, and you just got yourself a double top 5 with Aya moving in at the last second there.
Okay, it says retired, but that's because they pulled into their pit stall before the last car crossed the finish line. They will not actually be scored on as retired on the race report. But wow, I mean, what a race! That was pretty good. I was pretty happy with that one. It was fun to watch. Fun to watch them have those long runs, but the end was pretty dramatic too.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, that was really nice in the end to see that we got somewhat of a close finish. We got a closer finish than we did the Pikes Peak race. So, and yeah, it really did look like it could have been either one of those 3, depending on who got the jump. But as we said before, the clean air really benefits who starts in front, and Lux had it, and that's all. And I don't want to say that's all Lux needed, but she definitely used to get enough of a gap and just let it ride all the way to the finish. Big win for her today.
Yeah, and just a great day 18 lead changes. I think that's a pretty solid number. Obviously, a few of those are inflated by caution flag pit stops, but there were still quite a few lead changes on the track. There was a lot of good passing on track, and I really thoroughly enjoyed that one. All right, well, let's send you back to the FanDuel Fan Studio, where Rush is waiting for the post-race report. What's going on down there?
Well, it was a we had quite a bit of long running at the end of towards the end of the race, but yeah, a couple of cautions at the end stopped that. So we had a couple late restarts, and despite all that, Lux Akuma was able to hang on pretty well and keep the victory ahead of Jennifer Wilson, Eli, Mayumi Moriyama, and Takamoto Aya, making it a double top 5 for the Inverness cars. Not too many cars on the not too many cars on the late lap, but still 13 cars on the late lap after the 300 lap race at Bristol. It seems to be pretty normal, I think.
Yep.
And a lot of
I would say it's pretty normal.
Yeah, but yeah, capping off a good performance for the two good performances for the Inverness cars. A really good performance from Eli today. It's another car that performed really well all the race. I think she was she was on the lead lap most of the way, and at least in the top 10 for pretty much the entire race. That's another good run for them.
Mayumi Moriyama, after a lot of just kind of middling races these past couple of weeks, gets back in the top 5. Eli and Wilson, that's huge for them after all they've been through. Jennifer Wilson especially, someone who, 2 DNQs the past 2 races, so you'll definitely take a second place. I bet you would have wanted that win, though. For Eli, someone who's had a couple of issues but just got 9th place, she's now got some momentum. Liza Evergreen gets, I think, a finish she's okay with. That's a good 6th place. Abby Buchanan. Abby was near the cut line, so just having a top 10 getting this far means she's going to be feeling a little bit better about her playoff chances.
Yeah, Buchanan.
Ableton Perez and Hazel Hart getting good finishes, and Lizzie Borman making it a triple top 10 for Inverness Racing today.
Yeah,
I think we know the team that might be able to survive chaos now.
That's a solid performance by the Inverness cars through all of that. Yeah, that's very solid performance for them. Solid performance from Gulf Racing as well, with 2 of their cars in the top 10. And I think this race definitely saw a lot more green flag running at the end stages there, and that's where I think we started to see some of the best cars in the field start to rip their way through and move up to the top of the running order. And that's definitely what we saw with the cars in the top 5. I think those were the cars that we pretty much expected out of in terms of the cars that were going to be there and thereabouts at the end of the race, pretty much. I if you look at the cars that finished off of the lead lap, you notice that most of the cars were about 4 to 5 laps down, which is interesting. Not too many cars finishing 1 or 2 laps down. Most of them finishing multiple down, which is something that I find rather intriguing. Do wonder if that was just I do wonder if that was just a symptom of the green flag runs, and because of that,
I think it was the green flag runs. Some of the pit strategies some people had early, putting a couple laps down.
Yeah.
You look at some of the names too: Quentin Anderson, Von Lundquist. These are drivers that got themselves in a couple accidents and just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Sundale, likes of Sundale and Davenport, but I think they probably just got trapped a couple laps down, and that's kind of the story of short track racing in a nutshell. You really do want to stay on the lead lap, and that's what gives you the best chance of getting a good result, is if you're able to stay, at most 1 or 2 laps down, because you will get those incidents, and those present chances for you to move up a lap or 2, especially if you get a flurry of incidents, as we saw at times here. That's something that happens in these short track races, so I'm not entirely surprised by that. I will say, I think we did see quite a few more gearbox problems than I thought we would have, especially with the two Ozark cars having gearbox troubles. A couple of other assorted engine failures here and there. Those were also a little bit surprising, but most of the other reliability issues that we were going through were mostly brakes and tires, which I think was that those are issues that I think most teams were pretty cognizant of entering this race. If you're heading into a short track race, I think those are the kind of issues that you're going to be the most worried about. I think, especially with brakes, you're going to have a lot of cars struggling with brake fade issues and overheating. I don't think it was that bad in this race today. It was a pretty cool, cloudy night, so it wasn't too bad. But at the same time, that might be something that the Cup teams will be looking into, as they're going to be running a much longer race, of course.
Yeah, no. If what today was anything to show by for tomorrow, outside of I think what we expect, I would assume that any drivers have the chance, they're going to really want their teams to look into their gearboxes, just look into the engine entirely, because I think, yeah, there was a surprising amount of engine failures during this race from all different parts of it, pistons to gearboxes to camshafts. So this track might be a lot more taxing than I think people want to admit, which would mean that they, everything be worth fixing. Checking on it, making sure it's good. Everyone should probably run a check on their engines before the race just to make sure nothing is out of the ordinary.
The incidents will play a role into that as well. You're gonna get your equipment really dinged up in these races, so
absolutely,
definitely that'll definitely be something to look at over the longer runs, especially as you're gonna get cars hitting each other pretty often at these racetracks, and that's inevitably gonna cause problems for the mechanicals of the car. So that's always something I think you have to look at in these short track races. They may not be as taxing to the engine as they theoretically should be, but at the same time you're digging up a lot of equipment at all times at these tracks. So that's a thing that the teams will probably be looking into. But yeah, with that, I think if you don't have any other things to say about this race, I think we'll take it back to the booth with you and Echo for the closing statements, and we'll see you for the Cup race tomorrow.
Maybe. We'll see. Well, the viewers at home, yes, of course.
Yeah, tomorrow we have the Cup race. It'll be the Lenovo AI 500, so that'll be a fun race. And then next week we'll be at South Boston, another short track that we're following up this one with. I thought this was a very fun race. A lot of long green flag run racing, but there were quite a few incidents as well. But I was very happy with how much long run racing we got. I think the drivers kind of realized they could settle down for a bit, and they took it easy. And we didn't really see a lot of retirements due to accidents. Only a few. And just a generally pretty fun race, pretty solid race to watch. And with that being said, I'm Echo on behalf of Eddie and Rasha. Thank you for joining this broadcast of the AWSCO Snapdragon Continental Series. I'll see you all tomorrow for the Cup.